When you are on a dating app, you tend to be more vulnerable. Even if you're a very smart person with a great senior job title, your intelligence at work, it will not be transferred to you in your dating life because love is blind. When you fall in love, someone says, hey, can you loan me $10,000 to tide me over for this and that? No questions asked, you will just hand over the money. Whereas in work, you're more alert, you're more logical. It's different.
Hi, and thanks for tuning in to Atypical Asia, the podcast where we meet the rebels and the rule breakers reshaping the global narrative on Asia. Welcome to the show, Shn. We have so much to talk about today. I really want to get into our conversation.
Thanks for having me here today.
So, what first drew you into the world of dating apps?
Actually, for Asia, in the beginning, there was a lot of stigmatization. People feel that if they put up their public dating profile, they appear as desperate. But for me, I was on the other camp. I felt, wow, this is so cool. I was very motivated to bring this to the masses, and I wanted to embark on the education campaign to get more singles adopting this technology, because I sincerely feel that this is a very efficient way for anyone to be matched with many other singles.
You've said that it's your personal mission to make dating safer for your daters. Why is that such an important mission to you?
I know we are women, and for dating is always, I would say, maybe not in women's favor. Because imagine you are really looking for your forever love, and you match with a guy, and then you hit off great, you commit yourself to a relationship, and then midway you realize he's married. Then what have you lost? You have lost time. And for women, we cannot lose time.
Yeah, the clock is ticking.
So I say this is also one thing that matters to me from the woman's perspective. And when you are on a dating app, you tend to be more vulnerable. Even if you're a very smart person with a great senior job title, your intelligence at work, it will not be transferred to you in your dating life because love is blind. When you fall in love, someone says, hey, can you loan me $10,000 to tide me over for this and that? No questions asked, you will just hand over the money. Whereas in work, you're more alert, you're more logical. It's different.
So what does safety in online dating really look like on an app?
I would like to use SingPass, which is one of the recent rollout we had in July. We only rolled out for Singapore because this is something only available for Singapore market. So for the uninitiated, SingPass is our national virtual ID. You have your national identification card, your driving license, your past school exams, your income taxes, even your marital status, all on the app, right? So when we connect the API of SingPass as a login method for CMB, what we are doing is we actually screen out users for their real identity. So if their real identity, we have their NRIC, it's very unlikely the scammers will want to use the app. That deters them. The second thing is, because of SingPass, we know for sure what is your gender and your age. Then when we have these two in place, which are factual, we kind of reduce the likelihood of catfishing. And the most important one is actually marital status. What's happening now is if you are single, according to our Registrar of Marriage Records, then you will get a verified profile on CMB, and verified profile users will see other verified users.
Ah, I see.
So this way is actually really safe. You know that whoever you are meeting in the app, they are really single.
So if you're married, you can't go on the app at all?
You can, just that you will not get that verified marked.
But what about people who are sensitive about their age? Like, can I be 40 but I pretend I'm like 26 on
That's
the
why
app?
we cannot have that actually. We do need everyone to be authentic. And it means being honest. You have to display your real photo, your real age, where possible.
And actually, it's not just about having a successful dating experience, the idea of being honest. It actually sets you up for a more successful long-term relationship and marriage.
You cannot build a relationship on lies. It can't lead to a good outcome. Coffee Meets Bagel is also a really good brand, thanks to the founder. Right from day one, they have designed the app with the intent for serious daters only. So what this means is that unlike other dating apps, you don't have unlimited profiles at your fingertip. They want you to be more conscious of your choices. So only at 12 noon, they'll drop maybe 10 to 22 profiles for you to browse at. And when you know as a recipient of these profiles, you know you have limited number of profiles. You'll be more intentional and you'll slow down and really read through all the details before you make a conscious decision whether to proceed or not.
Why was that important to the app? In a world where we now have so many choices.
When you have too many choices, your mind becomes numb. Someone who is actually good for you, you may just let that person pass, thinking like there's always someone even better. Then there's this constant blind pursuit of someone even better.
It's a numbers game.
On the more real side of things, you let your guard down. Then you may be more susceptible to scammers. Because when you're browsing through different profiles, if just 10, you know that you are consciously spending time and reviewing and checking, okay, does this look like a scammer? And after you match, it's very intentional. If you're looking at 500 profiles, then your body just kind of lose that sensitivity, I would say.
That's true. It just becomes a swiping exercise.
It's the same as with shopping. If I give you too many options, like 200 colors to choose from, I say, can you pick one? It'll take you a long, long time.
That's true.
And it may make you more picky than you originally were.
That's true. You end up with analysis paralysis. So the value is in curation and in filtering and in actually quieting the option.
Yeah, quieting the option is a good way to put it.
And the Coffee Meets Bagel positioning is that over 92% of your members are looking for commitment, and first dates often lead to second ones, right? That's the brand positioning.
Yes. On CMB, our target audiences are really working professionals. We are here for serious dating. We want to create a dating space where trust isn't questioned and there's authenticity, which is why we introduced SingPass, starting with Singapore market. And I'm very happy to say that at CMB, the adoption rate for SingPass is over 70% as of today. It's something that we celebrate every day.
Are these features something that you are planning to roll out regionally or worldwide in your capacity as worldwide CEO?
Yeah. We are planning a rollout for such verification in other countries, but because other countries, they do not have something like SingPass, it will be something else similar. But what's interesting in terms of providing leadership to the worldwide app is that although we are worldwide actually covers more than just Asia. We're also in Europe, in Africa. The app is available for download everywhere. But coming back to Asia, we are one continent, but you do not treat every country homogeneously. The differences in languages, in religion, in dating nuances, we have to design our product, our marketing campaigns to suit all the different markets. It cannot be one size fits all.
What's the most interesting market that you've had to localize for?
Indonesia.
Why?
Okay, so in Singapore's context, you don't really talk about socio-economical status, SES, so frequently in work. But in Indonesia, when you want to run an ad, it can be a radio ad or TV ad, the first question these media buy agencies ask you is, which SES do you want? So in Indonesia, they are grouped by A, B, C, D. So if you want to target the SES A group, then your content and the channels where it appear will be channels that the A folks are on.
Wow, interesting.
So then what makes it so interesting is within Indonesia alone, it's one market, right? But then you have to kind of redesign your campaign for different tiers if you're chasing after like ABC at the same time.
And it's not by region as well? Or first it's the socioeconomic
Yes,
tier,
that first.
then the provinces.
Yes.
Now that you have a global view with your worldwide portfolio, how does the way that dating apps work in Asia differ from, say, the rest of the world?
From a product perspective, it would be the same because it's the one app that services all the countries, even outside of Asia. But what we design to be different would be the marketing approach. We can go more local. Say we can go localized with a Thai campaign using some of the local influencers, local celebrities, and local distribution channels that Thais consume content on. But at the product level, we can't.
How deep are the cultural differences in people's approach towards love and dating? Or fundamentally, are we all humans united by the same attitude towards love?
I love that question. So in Asia, regardless of whether you're Indian, you're Chinese, you're Japanese, everybody has the same train of thought that you should graduate from a decent school, that you should work and have a career, then meet a partner, start dating, then start a family. You don't jump queue by saying, oh, I date someone and immediately I go on to have a child. Maybe this is common and accepted in Europe and US, but in Asia, it's frowned upon by the seniors in our family, right? Your parents, your grandparents, they'll be questioning you, why are you doing this? So everybody in Asia, we follow this conversion pipeline, right? And what I'm observing now is the younger generation, the Gen Zs, for instance, they are prioritizing a lot on career and building their wealth. And they see this as a linear progression where if they don't have a career and wealth, they cannot move on to have a relationship. So a lot of them are holding back and making a conscious decision not to date. I actually find that that is not practical. It's actually possible to be on both at the same time, to build a career and grow your wealth while dating. And also it's a myth that dating requires a lot of money.
Right.
It's interesting. If you ask our grandparents, does dating need money? The answer is no. They know how to date without money. But if you randomly poll people in our current time, the men always feel so stressed out. They feel that for all the dates, I must impress my partner. It has to be a Michelin star restaurant. It has to be a nice bouquet of flowers. Everything is money. So it's actually also time for us to dial back and rethink how are we dating and what dating activities are meaningful.
That's true. Yeah, there was a controversy recently, right, where the girl was asked to a hawker center for a date and then she said no. Like, what has gotten us to this point? How did we get here where money and status is the most important factor?
Social media has a big role to play in that. So when I was in the offline matchmaking business, we had customers who entered our offices explaining to us why they need our help and why they broke off in their last relationship. Some of them told us how their partner didn't meet their expectations because he didn't give her a bouquet of 100 roses for her birthday. How is that a benchmark? A bouquet of 100 roses is actually uncommon, but to her it's common because that's what she sees on her feed.
So we have overinflated expectations of romance. I guess it's not love, it's romance, right? We are romanticizing.
Yeah. So then there's this expectation on each other in a relationship, which makes it really unhealthy, and how dating has become so complex right now.
So how can we change this? How can we dial this down so people have more realistic expectations?
I feel that we have to start with ourselves. Introspectively, you need to be clear of what you want, and you need to be very aware of what are realistic and what are not. You'll be surprised. Many people, they do not have that self-awareness. I will ask random people at the event or my friends, what is your wish list? What are your desired traits in a partner? They'll give me a really long list, both male and females alike. But I will throw out half of them. I'll say it's not relevant.
How do you tell them it's not relevant?
I ask them questions like, oh, you're screening for someone who only graduated from Ivy League. They have to be a Harvard grad. They have to be an Oxford grad. But how many of these men are there really out there? Or they have to earn $1 million paycheck. The truth is, the school you graduate from and the money you make, they're all transient. So imagine you're young, you're in your maybe early 30s or mid 30s. You meet someone else on the app, and at that point in their life, they are not there yet. So what you should be looking out for are traits where they are hungry, they want to achieve more in life. Because what's stopping them from going on to further their studies or from earning more and climbing up the career ladder? How can we just judge a fellow dater based on the profile at that point in their life? It's not accurate.
Yeah, because I was going to be contrary and challenge you and say Singapore is a very expensive place. And also you don't want to be in a relationship where bread and butter issues are constantly nagging on you, right? If you cannot, even survive, then how do you...
I guess that the bread and butter must be covered. But interestingly, we also know that females, we value financial independence a lot. Females, especially in developed markets like Singapore, we have already closed the income gap. We can't say that we are earning a lot lesser from men for the same role that we do. So women who are empowered to make their own investment now, they can even buy their own house. There's less reliance on females to fall on men to provide for them, unlike the last generation of our parents. Right? Women today are very empowered, because you know what's the value you bring to a relationship. Then from the man, what you're looking for is maybe emotional maturity, someone to lean on during bad days, some companionship for travels, to go through good and bad times together. You no longer rely on a man to provide for you 100%.
So you recently did a survey of your Coffee Meets Bagel users together with Saif. What were some of the interesting findings that you got from that?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked me about that. That survey was really interesting for us. We conducted with over 1,000 Singaporeans. It actually showed that there's a significant shift in terms of our daters expecting their partners to be equipped with money management skills. And if we compare the statistics now, taken in 2025, 6 in 10 respondents actually rank these skill sets as very important in a partner relative to 2022. This figure now is double in 2025.
Wow, in just 3 years.
That's a huge jump. And likewise, on the same note, gender roles are shifting as well. So women are more open to partners earning lesser or splitting bills on their first date. So this is actually a very healthy direction because previously in 2022, they said that they are not open to anyone who earn less than them. But right now, 1 in 4 say that they are open to it. So I see that as a good news. We're actually moving forward. There's economic progress and evolving mindsets from our Singaporean daters. Love in Asia is moving away from a rigid checklist, which aligns back to what I mentioned earlier on. That, when you date someone, you look for traits like, do they have a growth mindset? Are they ambitious? Do they want to improve themselves? Rather than the absolute amount of cash they have in their savings and what kind of job title they have, because all these are transient.
Money can come and go.
Correct. And for females who are independent in Singapore, we are already financially independent. So it doesn't matter if our partner earns less. We're happy to go Dutch on dates because we can.
Because we can.
Because we can. And right now, if you look at women around us, we're surrounded with females who can very well afford the lifestyle they want in terms of the countries they travel to or the things they want to buy for themselves. They no longer need to require a man to buy it for them. But having said this is not, on the women's part, it's not about lowering our standards.
Then what is it then if it's not lowering our standards? It's adjusting the standards to meet us where we are.
It's adjusting the standard because if you're clear that you can very well provide for yourself, then you don't expect your partner to provide for you, that you're relying them more on their emotional support.
And how about for the men then? Do you see any interesting patterns to how they use dating apps and how it differs from women?
So people tend to say that men have a really hard time in the app because females tend to be very picky. So
I have heard that.
So it's true to a certain extent that females, they get a lot more matches than men. But what is untrue is that men are not picky. They are actually picky too, but they are picky at a later stage in the app. So the difference is, so if Debbie, you're in the app, before you even decide to swipe left or right on a male profile, you would be studying, scrutinizing this person's profile before you make a decision. For men, they just swipe right for all the profiles first.
They catch all first.
They just catch all first, right? And then when the match happens, they go scrutinize on that match and check in on a profile to see, is this what I want? Then it's actually not ideal.
So there's a bit of a misalignment then.
It's actually not ideal because what happened is at that point in time, if the man feel that this female is not what I want, they ghost her.
But she's already selected him at that point.
Then he ghosts her. Then this poor lady, she'll be left hanging like, oh, I thought a match happened, but he didn't initiate anything. Which brings me to my next point. So females in Asia tend to wait for men to make the first move. It is very traditional mindset and we should get out of that. When the match happened, what's stopping a female from making the first move? Hi, I'm Debbie. I work in this industry. What about you? My hobbies are. Start engaging the guy. You don't have to wait for the guy to make the first move. I think a man will appreciate that too.
Yeah, true. Because at work, women are getting more outspoken. We take the initiative to ask for promotions these days, right? That's what we talk a lot about in female leadership circles. But yeah, in dating, we're still traditional.
This is a mindset we all need to break out of.
I think that's a really good reminder. So if we can take a step back or actually take a step forward, and if I can ask you to crystal gaze into the future, what does the future of dating look like, especially in Asia? And maybe what excites you the most, and are there things that scare you?
Interestingly, what excites me and what scares me are actually the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's actually the rise of AI technology and the shifting relationship models that we're observing in Asia. What scares me first is we're seeing a lot of parasocial relationships that has happened. So in Asia, there's popular mobile games where many females are on. They have a virtual boyfriend. But it's a really single-sided relationship.
Right.
I mean, the boyfriend is very sweet, very endearing, and say things that you like to hear. But this is not sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, like my ChatGPT never disagrees with me. I love it.
And from this gaming app environment, then of course we have ChatGPT. And we know that more and more singles, they are turning to ChatGPT for companionship because they feel lonely. And they're hoping that these AI tools can actually replace a human person. But I don't think it's possible, and it's actually unhealthy in the long run.
What do we lose when that happens? When we no longer need not even other lovers, but friends, right?
So to me, it's a vicious cycle because as humans, we like to hear things that we like to hear. And these AI models, they are trained to feed you things to make you feel good about yourself. And then why I say it's a vicious cycle is you're trapped in that cycle where you keep going back because you desire to feel love, to listen to good things about yourself.
The affirmation.
And then you're losing the reality. Because actually when you have a real partner, what a good partner does is they pull you back, they tell you, they make you better actually.
Yeah, true.
In every aspect. If you did something wrong or something could have been done better, they love you, they will tell you,
That's
hey,
true.
if I were you, I wouldn't have done it this way, I'll do it this way.
Sounds like my husband.
This is also what my husband provides me as well. And I can't emphasize enough, I value this a lot in a relationship. And actually if you take this outside of a dating relationship, even in a work relationship, with my colleagues, I want my bosses to tell me candidly where are the areas I'm blinded to, how can I improve? And I'll do the same for my colleagues as well. This is how we can improve.
That's true. It's all the challenges that make us grow, and AI to be able to do.
So this is where I feel that it's worrying for me. And I hope that more people can have a very balanced relationship. It's okay, you want to have a virtual boyfriend or girlfriend, go for it. But still be sociable, still go out and spend time with real people. Fundamentally, AI cannot replace a real human, but it can help us to be more efficient. So some of the issues that daters face on the dating app is that when they send a text to someone, we are all busy people at work. It takes us a while to be off work to check messages and respond. Then there's some lag time in between chats. Then you find yourself always on the waiting side. How come I sent a text to this guy and then he took so long to respond to me? But imagine AI is coming in to help you facilitate that. If you can have an AI twin helping you to respond, because this AI twin has been machine trained to know everything about you, they can actually take on some of the questions first.
True, and start conversations.
Some of the basic questions that you pre-populate.
True.
Right, so that takes work out of the way. And also for females, one of the biggest complaints is that when they are studying a male dater's profile, they feel that the profiles are usually maybe subpar. Because the men fill in very sparingly. Like maybe there's 20 fields to fill in, or there's prompts to put in, they only fill in like 10% of it. And then these females are already interested, they want to find out more. They can actually leverage AI technology to go and do that digging, go ask the guy all the questions they have without them having to do the real work.
But will it give them a shine that, isn't accurate, right? It's like how people use AI to write emails, and then when you meet them in person, you're like, hey, you were so eloquent on email. But in person, like, you don't really speak the same way.
I feel that it's inevitable because AI has really crept into our life right now. We're using it across everywhere. But what's important is to have a disclaimer, right? If you're in a dating context or in work context, you're using AI to help you, you should put out there like a disclaimer. So whoever you're talking to know that this is actually the AI helping you. So there shouldn't be a jarring difference when you meet out in real life.
Yeah, true. That's a very responsible attitude towards AI. A bit like how now when we use AI generated images, there's always a little caption that was generated.
So I have this story to share also. Recently a friend, her name is Sabrina, so she shared with me how she deployed her digital twin to help her prospect for men. So she has been a blogger for 20 over years. So she has rich content to feed and machine train her AI twin. So the AI twin knows everything about her, even her expectations on the date.
Right.
So she managed to integrate her AI twin into dating platforms to help her screen men.
Oh, wow.
And then this AI twin actually also help schedule for date. And of course, the real her will show up for the date.
But is there a danger that this AI twin develops by itself and becomes a more interesting version of you, right? Develops a complexity that then when you show up as a human, your match would be like, hey, like you were so entertaining online and I'm not getting the same thing.
There's possibly some risk over there, but how Sabrina does it is she does a very regular check-in with this AI twin on how are things progressing. So the AI twin is not running independently without her inputs. She still make inputs.
She's still in control. She's
still in control.
She's the pilot, the co-pilot. Yeah. That's fascinating. I need a digital twin, not for dating, but just for everything else.
I believe not just for dating. She has one to help her respond to IG DMs, for WhatsApp, her email. And this AI twin under different setting, like in dating, it will be more flirty. Then in work, on work emails, maybe more professional tone. So she managed to set this up. I feel that she's on the frontier of applying AI in this way, and this will be normalized.
So if you could look forward like 5 to even like 10 years ahead, right? What will dating apps of the future look like?
I feel that we just deploy our twin, whoever you call it, your AI assistant to do it for you. You just relax and just wait for the date to happen. But no matter how advanced technology is, when you talk about relationships, you cannot get away from meeting offline. Because all of us, the service we're providing is really just enabling a match to happen. But real dating, real love actually starts when you meet offline. Go meet in person. Because in person, then there are other traits that you can observe, such as chemistry. Chemistry is something that's very hard to explain for. On paper, everything checked already.
True. And you can't program for that. There's no prompt for that. There's no code to build that into your AI. Well, I think that's so fascinating. And I hope my husband's not watching this show, but it kind of makes me want to try the dating apps of the future. There is so much possibility that I'm really, really thrilled about. So thank you for being on our show, Shn. I think you've brought up so many fascinating aspects of dating, and I've learned so much from you, and I hope our listeners have as well. So yeah, thank you for being on our show. Really appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me.
That was Shn Juay on the future of love, leadership, and human connection in Asia. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. Here's a thought to get us started. How do you think technology is changing the way we fall in love? Share your thoughts with me below. I read every single comment. Till our next conversation, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode.